Hello, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create a function that will put every other letter in a string in uppercase. So this function, I called it awkwardtype. Now, like I said, the function takes in a string and outputs the same string, but with every other letter in uppercase. So here I have an example with hello world, and it turns into this. It's the same string, but with every other letter uppercase. So to start, we're going to discuss the algorithm for our code. Now, an algorithm is basically a list of steps that we're going to code into our function. This part of coding is always important, especially for more complex codes, because it is your plan for how you're going to code everything. Otherwise, your code is going to be very disorganized because you didn't really have any plans. So the first step of our algorithm is to put the string in all lowercase letters. So this input string, let's just say hello world, which the two letters are uppercase, H and W. The first step of our algorithm turns it into this string, where there's no uppercase letters. The second step is to make a list containing all the characters in the string. So as you can see, our lowercase version of our string turns into this list. And notice all the letters in the list are in order, and the space is still there. We kept the space as an item in the list. Now, we put every other letter from the list in uppercase. So this list turns into this list where every other letter is uppercased. Finally, we combine all the characters in the list into a string. So this list turns into this string, and we return this string for our function. And now we're done with our algorithm. So let's go code this. Okay, so now we're going to start coding. We're going to define a function called awkwardtype, and it takes in an input string. So remember, the first part of our algorithm is to put the input string in all lowercase letters. We can do that using a function called .lower. So we do input string is equal to input string .lower. Now that puts our string in lowercase. The second step of our algorithm is to make a list of all the characters in our string. So we create an empty list, which I'll call string list, and it's an empty list. Then, for letter in input string, string list dot append letter. So what this does is it checks every character in the string, and this line adds that character to the string list, sorry. So far it's been pretty simple, but this third step is going to be the hardest one. Now we need to make every other letter in the list uppercase. So first, we're going to use something called a timer. It's just going to be a variable. And then, we need a list called alphabet. I already have it copy-pasted right here, because it's the entire alphabet, as you can see, all the letters in the alphabet. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this. So we start for I in range len string list. So if you don't know, len string list is the length of the string. So I'll be telling you what we're going to do with this now. If string list I in alphabet. So now what this if statement does is it looks at the item. It looks at the item at index I in the string. So for example, if I is 5, it'll look at the item in the string that's at index 5. And then it'll check if that item of the list is in the alphabet, so in this list. So basically that means this if statement is checking if the item at index I in our list is indeed a letter, and not just a space or a comma or a period or something like that. So we have that if statement. And now that we know that whatever gets past this code is going to be a letter, we can start putting them in uppercase. So we say if timer 2 is 1. Now what this does is it says if the timer divided by 2 has a remainder of 1, then what we're going to do is we're going to say string list I is going to equal string list I dot upper. So basically this variable timer over here, which we start as 1, if timer divided by 2 has a remainder of 1, then we put string list I in uppercase. And finally, for this for loop right here, we're going to end it with timer plus equals 1. And we have to put it right here because we only want to increase the timer if we just put another string in uppercase. So that was the hardest part. Now we're on to the easy bit, which is the fourth step, which is to turn our list into a string. So I'm going to make a new variable, new string, and it's going to be an empty string. And we're going to have for item in string list new string plus equals item. So what this does is it takes every item in the string list and it concatenates it with our new string. So now we return new string. Now let's test out our program. We're going to say print awkward type hello world. And you can see down here, we do get our desired result. So we are done.